No, I'm sorry to say, but you didn't vibe code the free version of Palantir. And I get why you think you did. So picture a screen, you've got a dark map of the world, you've got red dots pulsing all over conflict zones, you've got a live feed scrolling down one side. You've even got a threat level in the corner sitting at Amber Alert maybe. Maybe you've got a neat AI written summary in the top, tensions rising in the region. And it looks really slick, it looks incredible. It feels like intelligence, but it's not intelligence. And that screen isn't useless, okay? It's a clever bit of kit, but somewhere along the line, it got the wrong label stuck on it and someone called it an intelligence platform or an OSINT platform. And that one word is doing an enormous amount of heavy lifting. So in this video, I want to pull that apart. So what these dashboards actually are, what they can't do, and 4 practical ways to extract value from one if you are going to use it anyway, which most of you will. Okay, so I'm Cole, Director of ALCON Intelligence. We train current and aspiring analysts in real-world intelligence at Tradecraft. And this video is not a product review, and it's not a takedown of any particular company or someone's hobby. It's just about a category mistake, a very common one. It's a mistake of confusing a tool that shows you information with the actual work of producing intelligence. Once you can see the difference, you can't unsee it, and you'll be a sharper operator for it. So just one quick ask before we get into it. If you find this kind of thing useful, give this video a like and hit subscribe. It really helps the channel get in front of more people doing this kind of work, and it really costs you nothing. A quick caveat, I'm not here to dunk on the people who build these or the people who use them. I build tools myself. I like to dabble in coding as well, and I'm not standing on a hill looking down at anyone, okay? That's not what this is about. The point I'm trying to make is that the tool and the discipline are 2 very different things, and when we blur those lines, new analysts get taught the wrong lesson about what their job actually is. Take this as a lesson in tradecraft, not an attack on anyone's product. So let's start by being fair, because fair is where good analysis starts. You've got a modern monitoring dashboard, the kind a small team can build in a weekend, and it does a handful of jobs and it does them really, really well. It pulls in feeds, news, RSS, Telegram, social media all day without getting tired. It filters and sorts so you're not drinking from the fire hose. It tags and maps, it works out where an event happened and drops a marker on it. And increasingly it summarizes. A language model reads these incoming materials and writes you a tidy paragraph in plain English. And that's genuinely useful because 10 years ago that took an office full of people to do. But everything I just described, pulling, filtering, tagging, mapping, summarizing, has a name in our world. And the name is not intelligence, the name is collection and processing. And collection and processing is only a small part of the job. There's a ladder every intelligence course teaches, usually at the start of the course. It matters more than almost anything else, so let me take you through it a bit slowly. At the bottom, we've got data, raw facts, a coordinate, a time step, and number of vehicles. On its own, it really means nothing. The middle rung is information, data with context attached. So you might have 12 vehicles moved south through this town at 0400. Now it's a sentence, now a human can read it. A dashboard lives on these 2 planes. It's a machine for turning data into information and putting it on a map very fast. The top rung is intelligence, and intelligence is a different beast. Intelligence is information that has been evaluated and analyzed to answer a specific question for a specific person who has to make a specific decision. Think about that carefully. Evaluated. Somebody has weighed the source, analyzed, somebody has asked what it means and what else could explain it. A specific question, not a feed dump, and a decision. This is the one most people forget, okay? So Sherman Kent, one of the founding figures of the modern profession, was clear about this decades ago. Intelligence exists to serve a decision maker. If it doesn't help someone decide something, it's not intelligence, it's well-presented information. So what I want to get at for the rest of the video is a dashboard is a fast way to become well-informed about things that may not actually matter to you. Being well-informed feels like having intelligence. It's not the same thing. And the gap between those 2 things is where real work lives. Okay, so there are 5 things real intelligence work requires that a monitoring dashboard can't do for you. Rather than list them in abstract, let me walk you through 3 dashboards I've looked at recently and show you where some holes are. I'm not going to name names, the point is the pattern, not any one product. You'll recognize the type, and once you do, you'll start seeing them everywhere. Let's look at this one, the HUD theatre piece. So let's look at this dark green and black interface, a radar style visualization in the top right, a cloud of green dots inside a circle labeled like some kind of country profile scan or something, a daily briefing on the left, paragraphs of fluent AI style prose, an object briefing list at the bottom, each item tagged in red as either fake or real. This is the dashboard that cannot evaluate a source, and source evaluation is a really big aspect of the job. In proper tradecraft, we ask 2 separate questions for every piece of information. How reliable is the source on track record, and how credible is this specific report on its own merits? A rumour and confirmed fact are not the same input, and they must never look the same on the way out. And now, to be fair, that fake or real tag is at least trying to do source work, but 2 states is not source grading. A verified outlet and an anonymous Telegram channel still get rendered in the same clean font in the same sentence, and it's got a real quiet confidence to it. And the radar circle as well, it's a giveaway. It does no analytical work, it's just decoration or wallpaper. Somebody watched a lot of Tom Clancy and decided their tool needed to look like a submarine. The screen is doing the job of looking like intelligence, but it's not doing it. Now I've got another one called the War Room. This one's a bit louder and in your face. A world map painted from edge to edge in threat colors. You've got Asian deep red, the Middle Eastern red, African orange. You've got a strategic risk indicator gauge in the corner sitting at 58, whatever 58 is. Then you've got news playing, and you've got night vision stills and all sorts of other things. This dashboard, it fails 2 of the 5 at once. First, it can't express uncertainty honestly. Real intelligence is careful about confidence. There are analytical standards for this, and these standards force analysts to state their confidence in plain, consistent language. So we judge with moderate confidence. A gauge at 58 is the opposite. No probability, no methodology. It's a feeling dressed up as a finding. Second, it can't tell you what it does not know. The most valuable line in a real intelligence product is often the intelligence gap, okay? So look at this map, whole continents being assigned essentially a vibe. But where is the panel saying which countries are being collected on and which are not? Where is the bit that says we have no coverage here, and why is it grey? It's not there. The dashboard renders your biggest blind spot as a nice, quiet, reassuring patch of green. The colour is doing the work that the source grading should be doing, and the imagery is a mood essentially. The whole screen is engineered to make you sit forward and feel like something is going on. And that's not intelligence. That is a video game with a news feed. So this next one is quite cheeky. So mechanically it's a globe with some news headlines on either side. Tags say breaking and urgent. A confidence bar shows 85% or something like that, with no real methodology behind it. And there's something really telling. Right there on the dashboard, 2 banner ads for hotel bookings. Anywhere you see commercial advertising sitting inside your intelligence tool, you've got your answer. This is a newsreader monetizing your attention. But it demonstrates the last 2 failures very clearly. First, it can't tell you what matters. Real intelligence starts with their requirements. Somebody decides what questions actually need answering because a decision depends on them. You've got priority intelligence requirements. This dashboard has none of those. It ranks by recency and volume. Loud and new go to the top, but loud and new is not the same as important. And second, it can't handle deception. So these tools scrape open channels. Open channels are the easiest place in the world to plant a false picture or false narrative. If an adversary knows your dashboard is hoovering up a particular set of Telegram channels, for example, they know exactly where to put the thing they want you to believe. They flood the channels, they stage a story, and your beautiful dashboard collects the deception, summarizes it neatly, and renders it identically to the truth. A human trained in deception at least asks the question, could someone want me to see this? But the dashboard never asks that. So we've got 3 completely different products failing the same 5 tests. They can't evaluate a source, they can't express uncertainty honestly, they can't tell you what they do not know, they can't tell you what matters, they can't handle any deception or anything like that. And notice, none of those are bugs a better build would fix. Perfectly built version of any of these would still fail every single one because they're not collection problems, they are analysis problems, and analysis is the part we have not talked about yet. So if the dashboard does collection and processing, what's the rest of the job? We need to think of the intelligence cycle: direction, collection, processing, analysis, dissemination. Direction is where somebody decides what we're actually trying to answer. What does the decision maker need, by when, and to make what call? Get that wrong and everything downstream is just busy work with a nice map on it. Analysis is usually at the heart of it. A human asks the hard questions. What does this mean? What are the other possible explanations? What would have to be true for me to be wrong? We've got structured techniques for this. So you've got things like analysis of competing hypotheses, where you lay out every explanation and actively try to disprove each one. You've got key assumptions check, where you stress test the things you've been taking for granted, and a dashboard does none of this. It has no hypotheses, it only has items. And then you've got dissemination, which is real intelligence ending in a product, something that you give someone. It answers a question, it states its confidence, it admits its gaps, and it helps them decide. It's got a beginning and an end, and it's a finished product. A dashboard never finishes, okay? It just updates forever. A screen that updates forever is the opposite of a decision. It's a thing you watch instead of deciding. And that's a key difference. The dashboard keeps you informed, intelligence helps someone act. So what does good look like? Recently, a company called Surge Intelligence gave us a demo of their platform. They had customized it for our national fuel security use case, jet fuel supply chain risk for Australia and New Zealand. And this is what I saw on the screen. There is a map at the top of the overview. Of course there is, but underneath the map, taking up the bottom half of the screen, is the panel that anchors the whole tool. 4 priority intelligence requirements, or PIRs. The whole tool is anchored to 4 questions before a single feed item is ingested, so direction is step 1 of the intelligence cycle, the one that almost every dashboard skips. Every PIR has a coverage indicator next to it. Green means collection is alive against that question. The operator can see, at a glance, whether the things their decision maker cares about are being watched right now. Click into the feed and the same logic continues. 47 items, every single one carries PIR tag. A story about a €710 million French energy aid package does not sit there as a generic news headline. It's tagged to PIR 1 and 3 because it touches both fuel supply and the Hormuz situation. Then you've got an airline retiring an A340 variant as tagged as PIR 1 and 2, same for everything else. The feed is not news, the feed is evidence relevant to those 4 questions. Every item has its source named with a priority level attached to it, so routine, high, flash. The dashboard is not pretending all reporting is equal, it's sorting it. Then we go to indicators. Traffic light status across 4 PIRs, each broken down into the actual measurement that drives the core. We've got Singapore Jet A1 price, Brent crude, Geelong refinery status, national kerosene reserves and days of cover. Each indicator has its own band. Green below this number, amber between these two, red above this. The analyst is not picking a color because it feels right or looks cool. They're reporting against a published threshold, and the threshold itself is on the screen. And look at what is on the screen alongside the live measurements. You've got the refinery currently in a fire outage at the time of this video being made. It's not collected, flagged as a known disruption. The intelligence gap is on the screen, named in a panel on its own. The blind spot is not a quiet patch of green, it's an entry on the indicator list. Then we've got the reports. This is the one that separates this tool from anything else I've seen so far. So you click into PIR 1, and the first line on the page is a decision question. Do national and state energy authorities, refiners and airport operators need to activate fuel crisis management protocols or coordinate priority fuel allocations across AU and NZ networks? End quote. That is not a topic, that's a question, and it's the question the entire report exists to answer. Underneath it, the structure is really good. So what Tradecraft asks for, body assessment, sources confidence, so what? Sources are named with reliability grades attached, F-rated, B-rated, confidence is stated in words with a sentence explaining the basis. And it's really separating the claims and grading each one independently, which is really good. And then you've got the so what, so recommended actions for the decision maker, numbered, specific, tied directly back to the decision question at the top. It treats a particular data point as a collection limitation and prioritizes a fresh confirmation. This is the answer to the question Sherman Kent asked all those years ago. Intelligence exists to help someone decide something. This report ends in a decision, not a screen update, not an amber dot, a set of options for the people who have to act. Now, to be fair, this dashboard looks less flashy in a screenshot, fewer flashing lights, no radar circle, no threat gauge at 58, but it is doing an actual job. And 2 things make that possible. So first, it's built for a specific purpose, tailored to a specific client. There are 4 PIRs because somebody at the table identified those 4 PIRs as the things their decision maker needed to answer. Second, the methodology underneath comes from people who have done the job, bona fide intelligence practitioners, and that comes down to Tradecraft and not aesthetics. And just to caveat all of that, this is not a paid advertisement for Surge Intelligence. So I promise practical, so let me get into it. The answer is not to throw the dashboard away, it's to put it back in its proper place. So the dashboard is a collection and processing tool, a good one. It's the front door of your pipeline, but it's not the whole house, so to speak. So 4 practical things. First, if you're building it, build it around requirements, not around everything. Don't point it at the whole world, point it at a specific question that supports the decision. Make it watch the things that matter, so when it lights up, the light actually means something. Second, treat every item it shows you as raw and unevaluated. Its job is to tap you on the shoulder and say, look over there. That's called trading a start point, and it's genuinely valuable, but once you have looked, you do the evaluation, you grade the source, you go back to the original material, the dashboard points, and you, the analyst, confirms it. Third, never let the dashboard be the product you send up the chain. The dashboard informs, the analyst produces the intelligence. If your decision maker is looking at the live screen themselves, you have not given them an analysis, you have given them a fire hose and called it a service. Fourth, write down what the dashboard can't see, so make the gaps explicit on purpose because the tool never will. The quiet green patch on the map deserves a sentence from a human saying whether it is quiet because nothing is happening or quiet because nobody's watching it. So to close this off, the reason the label matters, the reason I care whether we call that screen a monitoring tool or an intelligence platform, I'm not just making it up, it's because words matter. When we call a feed an intelligence platform, we quietly teach every new analyst who uses it that intelligence is something you watch, something that arrives on a screen, something that is finished the moment it's displayed. And that's the wrong way to think about it. It produces people who are very well informed but can't actually assess anything. Intelligence is not a screen. Intelligence is the human judgment you apply after the screen has done its job, the evaluating, the weighing, the considering of alternatives, the honest statement of confidence, the naming of the gaps, and the formulation of an assessment, and linking all of that to a decision somebody has to make. A dashboard simply just makes you informed. If you want to learn the part the dashboard can't do, that analytical layer, the actual tradecraft, that's what we teach at ALCON. Check out our Intelligence Analyst certification course in the link below. So thanks for watching. I'm Cole. I'll see you in the next one.